since the recession and within the past few years, we can see that in America there's a major issue about unemployment. Now, according to The Economist, September 10th, 2011, the rate of unemployment has risen 2% ever since Obama came to office. The 2% translating to actual factual numbers, we can see that equals 2 million people unemployed. Not only are 2 million people unemployed, there's also the problem of government cutting and reducing and trimming the payrolls that they are setting out. Now, not only we can see that the unemployment rate is a major issue in America right now, because we can see from the constant and various Republican candidate debates, we can see that they're constantly asking a question: how are you going to fix unemployment rate? And not only are there the questions of that, but we see on the streets that there are many people protesting about the amount or being unemployed, saying that America, mostly Obama, should be able to fix the unemployment rate right now. Which leads me to the topic today: what should Obama do to fix the unemployment? Now, Obama can do two things in order to fix the unemployment rate. It's one, to close the tax gap, and two, to invest in his plan of Georgia Works and convincing the Republicans to follow it. Now, to my first reason. By closing the tax gap, the government will be able to, by closing the tax gap, there will be an increase in small businesses because the people will no longer have to worry about such high tax rates. But according to the week, September 8th, 2010, they said that America pays the second highest in the world when it comes to taxes. But not only that, the wealthy are the ones that pay the least taxes versus the ones in the middle income. According to Warren Buffett, in his comment in the New York Times, he said he only pays 17% of his taxable incomes versus his less wealthy office colleagues, where they pay 36% of their taxable income. Now, by reducing or closing the tax gap, we can tax the wealthy, and therefore, instead of relying on the middle and lower class incomes to help fix our national debt, we can rely on the wealthy people to pay higher taxes to fix the national income or national debt. So we can see that. So we can offer this middle income people a bigger opportunity to open small businesses and invest into their business, and therefore employing more people into their work. Another thing is that 35% of taxes within the small businesses often hurt their business or any starting a business, because then they are forced to, one, move their business out of the location they're currently at, or two, they're invest in outsourcing outside of America to employ people, because they believe that it's cheaper to employ people outside of America than it is to employ people here. By outsourcing, we can see that there will be only a rise in unemployment. By reducing the tax in which these small businesses have to pay, they can focus and stay where they are currently, where their location is, and employ the local people instead of outsourcing to another country. Another example we can see why Obama should focus on closing the tax gap is that in the 1950s, the corporations were huge, major funding for the government. The government relied on about 30% of these corporations to pay for any funding that they needed. Now, if we look 21 years later in 2011, the corporations funding the corporation taxes that the government relied on funding is now decreased to just 17%. Now, if we changed and closed all the loopholes that the corporations have created, we can see that we can use the corporation money to invest in other programs that will help the employment. So therefore, by closing the tax gap, not only do we help small businesses, but we also help find a different revenue for fixing the national debt instead of taxing the middle and lower class people more. Which leads me to my second point of how Obama should focus on his investment of Georgia Works and convincing the Republicans. According to The Economist, September 11th, 2011, Obama has already proposed a plan called Georgia Works. Georgia Works is basically a plan where the state or the federal government will be the one investing or putting money into these financial bureaucracies, in which they would then transfer the money to employing and teaching unemployment people or training them to do a specific work. Now we can see that when the federal government takes over employment, it often works as we can see with the past with Roosevelt's reign. So basically we can see that if the federal government takes charge of these unemployment and offer programs in which it employs people, it will increase the employment rate instead of helping the unemployment rate. Another example which we can see that this Georgia work plan would work is that in Mencia in Indiana, they have funded a program called Work One, which is the state-controlled unemployment, and where they work with the local Ivy College in training for the local people for 8 weeks on how to do manufacturing and production work lines. By doing this, we can see that not only are you training the people to work in a specific area, but then you're linking them to the local business, such as making automobiles, which is very common in Indiana. So we can see that with the current rise in unemployment, Obama should focus on the two areas of closing the tax gap and focusing on his Georgia works and convincing the Republicans to follow it. Thank you.